Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and I am finally back to what I think will be the final episode of my Build-A-Book series featuring this steampunk journal. And where I left off the last time, if you're wondering what these are weights, and I don't have a book press, so I like to put weights on they're about probably 3 pounds each, and I like to put weights on my book block, as I'm working on it to keep it, flatten it out as much as possible. So, so this is my steampunk journal that we've been working on. I've done quite a bit of things off camera, and I will go through what those things are. These are some of the tools we're going to need today here. And I'll go through those in a minute. And this is my book block. One of the things that I did do, I believe when we left off, I had sewn in 2 of the signatures of this 5-signature journal. And so you can see the ridges of where my threads are that I sewed these in. And after I sewed them in, which the fabric was on, I sewed it through the fabric, through each signature through the fabric. So that left the strings here. I like to put another piece of paper over this because it stabilizes the fabric a little bit. So I used a piece of packing paper, just the brown packing paper, over the spine of this, covering my stitches where I had stitched in the signatures. And then this is going to go inside my journal like this. Before I do that, and I'll be showing you how to glue this in, but before I do that, I want to make my closure. I want to fasten the things here to my journal cover. So that is the first thing that we are going to do. And I have here what will be my end papers, and I'm just showing a little peek of my cover piece. I will get to that in a moment. Let's get those things out of the way, because what I want to do, and let's move this on over here because we're not working with that at the moment. I want to get something else I did is I added a piece of card that was the width of my spine that I had, which I believe this is 1.5 inches, and I had scored it every 1/8 of an inch on my scoreboard. And then I rolled it along the edge of my table to make it curved because I wanted this to have more of a little bit rounded spine. So that helps to create that roundness on the spine. And this is a hidden hollow back. Then I took the same packing material, brown packing paper that I used on the spine of the book block. I put in here just for a little bit of reinforcement. It didn't have to have it, but I just felt like I wanted to do it. So I did that, and then this has been coated with Liquitex Matte Medium on the cover here. The making of this cover was not part of this series, but I'm going to go back and rename it and put it in my process playlist for this journal, because I made this cover some time ago and it was just a video on the cover. So I will rename that and link it into this playlist for this journal. Okay, I have already, you can see, I have already punched a hole here with my crocodile, and I'm going to be adding a hitch post. And I'm going to put that on right now only because I need to see how long make sure my little strap is long enough, which I'm pretty sure it is, but I also want to see where I need to position it. So I'm going to just temporarily screw this on. I want to screw this in and have this be on here after I put the end papers in. I don't want to cover this screw head with the end papers. For one, being steampunk, it's kind of neat, but I had to do it a little bit close to the edge because of my book cover topper. And it sticks up, you know, this is kind of a thick piece, this little screw head here, and I don't want to try to work my paper around that. So I will put the end page in here and then screw this in, but I'm putting that there now because this is going to be my closure. I have this roll of leather sort of, and woven, like a leather and cord woven. It's not really leather, but it serves the purpose well. I've used it on another journal that was a wraparound thing. And then I have made what I think is going to be the right length for this. Because what I want to do is I want to slip this in, just like it's going to go in. And this will slip over the edge of this. It won't go strictly in the middle because this little hole here that you can make with the woven part is not quite big enough for this to slip over. So it's got to go here or here on top, but I don't think that really matters. And I want to do it here. Look at this. Nope, I don't think I do. So one side, and this has fray, it'll fray and come apart on the end. So I have on my little belt here, I have wrapped black grosgrain ribbon around each end, and then I glued it, and then I stitched it on the sewing machine. So this is going to go like this, and I want this. This is going to tell me where I want this in the back. And I could have made it a little bit, I want this to be pretty snug because I want it to keep it closed well. But we can make it looser because this can adjust more if it needs to, just like that. So I don't think I can make it go in. I wish I could make it go in the middle of this, but I don't think, let's see if I can. I don't think this, oh, we might can make it be big enough. I would really like for it to go in the middle, like that. Okay, yes, we can do that. And then you would have to go to the next one here, where that same spot is. Okay, let's try it. I want to see if I can tighten that up. It'll do it, but it's a little bit tighter than I might like for it to be. And there, we can do it that way and make that a little bit tighter, and I like that better. I like it a little bit tighter. Okay, so this is going to give me an idea of where I want this to be. And then you'll have a little bit of play room to make this just a tiny bit looser if you want to, but I want it to be pretty snug with what's in here now. So I think I'm going to do it about like this. I'm going to put 3 brads. I'm going to glue it and also put these 3 little brads through. And I need to do this now before I put the book block in, because it'll be a lot simpler to do. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to guess. And I need a little white marker here that I can mark the spots, because you can't see black on this. So I'm just gonna take this, lift this up like this, because I want it to be underneath that, and I'm just going to do a dot in the middle, a dot over here, and a dot over, let's see. I didn't get it in the middle. This is the middle. You're not going to see this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And a dot about there. And I moved that dot about there. So we need one there, there, and there. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on the book first, on the book cover first. So let me get my little foam piece. I'm gonna take this back out. I am just going to do it. I'm not going to do it with a crocodile, which is what I did the other with. I'm going to do it with so it's right here, right here. Make sure that there's going to be enough room. Yep. And right here. Yep, that's going to be about right. Okay. So that is where this is going to go in the book cover. Make these a little bit bigger. Yep, just like this. Yep. Okay, so now, because I can see this from the other side where the holes are, here, I am going to then glue this on with a little bit of E6000 and let it set for just a minute. Because I want to glue it and fasten it. So I'm not going to go over the holes, but I'm just going to go around it just a little bit. Try not to go over the holes. I think I did go over it a little bit, but that's okay. I think it'll work fine. So I just want this end to be fastened. I don't want the whole thing to be fastened down. So I'm just going to stick this right here, and I believe that's going to be about right. Just like that. And I'll take my little clamps. And clamp this on. Just like this. Let's make sure we're putting that in exactly the right place. Yes, that should work out nicely. Okay, so I'm going to clamp this here. Right there. And right here. And I hope I kept that straight. Pretty much. I'm going to clean off that little bit of excess glue that is right here before can you see what I'm doing? There's a little excess glue right here. So I'm going to clean that off. And then clamp it. Okay, see, it's already, now it won't move when I clamp it because it's already kind of getting tacked down. Okay. Now, we'll give that just a little bit. It doesn't take too long really for that to dry. I hope. But it'll be fine because I'm going to put the, I'm going to give it a few minutes. While we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, I will show you my cover, my top, my topper on my cover. And put those things away. So this is what I have made to go on top. And it is a shaker. I know it's a little glare there because I have acetate in there, but it's a shaker with gears and clock hands in there. So I've made that be a little shaker. I was going to glue those down, and then this idea came to me. I made this with 3 layers of, had cracker boxes that had a window in it, and this is the size of that window. And I layered the 3 together. The top one, before I layered them all, the top one I embossed in my embossing machine with this gear embossing. It's a 3D embossing from Tim Holtz. And so I did that, and then I glued the 3 pieces together. So with the acetate is right under this top first piece, and then I did the other 2 pieces past the acetate, so that when I did the image, which is from Stamperia, this image of this man here is from Stamperia's scrapbooking pad, and it's called, I don't remember what it's called. I'll look at it in a minute if I can remember. So then I layered it together, and then I did on the back is a piece of cardstock that this image is attached to, and what that did was give it enough space between the image in the back and this top piece with the acetate for these to slide around in. And that's what I did. And then I had these vintage, I don't know if they're locker numbers or hotel door numbers, but something like that. And I used the one that said 1906, because that's about the time frame that this whole journal takes place in the Industrial Revolution, part of the Industrial Revolution era with fantastical things. So I also, this is one of those puffy stickers from the Dollar Tree of this hot air balloon. And I wound up not being able to use those on the inside because it got so thick. I wanted to put so many things in there, and there are so many things in there that the journal just got too thick, and I just said, well, I'll just put one on the front. So that is what will be my topper, and it'll just go on here like this. When we get to that point, I'm probably going to put this on after I glue in the signature, I think. In either case, it's not going to be great because I don't want to really use, well, it's not too bad. I didn't really want to have this on here when I was trying to glue in the signatures or the book block, but it won't, we'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do. I don't know. And then this is digital. I believe these are from Tracy Fox, and I'm going to use this as my end paper. And then this is the Ex Libra label that is from the original book block, the original book of this, the flyleaf of this book. Was this. So I'm going to use that as the Ex Libra. This is a Reader's Digest book. I'm going to have to I'll ink the edges of this before I put it down. I don't know if we'll get all the way to that part today. We might, because this really does not take a whole lot of time. So now what I'm going to do, I think that's going to be dry enough to go through and what did I do with my, oh, here it is, and poke these holes through this way. And I'm doing this now because my end papers, I hope I did this right. That would be so bad if I didn't. I don't know if I can see where I punched the hole. It may not have gone all the way through. Let me try that again. Because this has, I used E6000 on both sides of this, so it's going to be so I'm not sure that it actually went all the way through. Yeah, that's all the way through now. Okay, that's all the way through. And that one's all the way through. Okay. Now maybe I can see where they're at. Oops, it is not dry. But that's okay. That is not dry. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this is not working like I'd hoped it would. Because I thought I would be able to see where I had poked through this. This is not quite dry. So wonder if I could figure out where the hole was. I don't think I can. I can. Let's see. I don't know. I may have to wait. I can probably still glue in this with this on here. With it. Not with these clamps. I'll have to use. See if these will do it. Or these. So I don't have to have it. No, those don't work. Okay. First faux pas. Right here. Okay, let me think about this. How am I going to do this? Okay. This is where this one is. And that's the middle one, so that's good. And that's in an okay place. But how am I going to... Let me try putting this here. And putting this here. And then going through here. I actually wanted it to be, but this will be fine. This will work. Okay, this will work. It's not exactly where I wanted it to be on there, but it's okay, I think. I think it'll work. Okay, so there we are. There is that one. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So we're going to take these and bend them down. Bend the legs down all the way. And I do like to take, and also this will dent the brad on the front. These are Tim Holtz long leg, the long leg brads. Okay, that works. That's good. Okay, so now that we have that on there, see, it's gonna stay. The glue is gonna keep it. I'm getting glued all over my awl here. Oh, I need this under here. Okay, there's the other one. Cool. Yep, that'll work. Let's see, working that through more. Okay, I'll put another one in. I'm very impatient as far as the glue drying and all that goes. Can you tell? I am. So I have there. Okay. There we are. And let's hammer that one down. And one more. Need my little foam thing here. Okay, that's good. Let's push this one through a little bit more. Let's stick this in. Like so. I hope we will. Gotta get them together, the legs together there. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now I just need to get glue off my thingy here. It rolls off pretty good when it's dry. Okay. So let me put my little hammer back. We're done with it. And this back. I have to put everything back. If I don't, Lord of mercy, I'll never find it. Okay, now we have got that done. And as you see, this will just come right across and we'll fasten in here. You can do it whichever place does better for you. I like it in the middle, but it might not do in the middle. There we go. So see, that is how that will be. That's okay. Alrighty. Now we can glue in. Let me take this off again. We can glue in our signature. That fell right in my lap. I will not be so lucky again. Okay, so there is that. Okay, now I am ready to glue in. I have my PVA glue here. This is something, a little trick. This is an ashtray from the Dollar Tree. I use this a lot of time for gluing, painting, or splatters or whatever, because I can lay my brush in the places where you see that's a big one that looks like it's for a cigar, where you would normally put your cigarette, and it will hold my brush and then drip into there. So I didn't use it for this time. I used this little bowl. That's my PVA glue, which it's really called craft tacky glue, but it is a super tacky PVA craft glue. I'm almost out. Bought that at some obscure place. And I have not looked for more because I haven't really needed it. But I like to use the PVA to put these in here. So the first thing we're going to do is, you know how we miter things envelope edges and all that sort of thing so that it won't, I'm going to fold this little piece of, because I have 1/4 of an inch from the edge of my binding to the paper. So I'm just bending that back a little bit. I'll do that on both sides. And that's just so I can see where I need to miter this a little bit. Because I want to miter this part the tiniest bit, just to where this edge is, to where my spine starts, because I don't have to do it much. I don't want that part to show out from under my end pages, because these flaps are going to be here on each front and back. And I don't want this little bit of fabric to show out from under my end papers. So I do that, but I do want this little ruffledy bit that I left here on purpose. I do want that. Okay, get off of me. It won't get off. There. I do want that to show, because I want it to look like the headband of the binding. You know, you've seen books that have the little rope looking area across the top. Well, that's called the headband. And I wanted it to look like this. The headband on this one was kind of frayed. Okay, see where this is. Here, it's right here. So I just want to miter that just a touch. Just like that. Miter it over here, just a touch. Just like that. Okay, so now when I put this in here, just like this, go in here just like this, then, I don't know if you can see, but that edge, which is quote unquote the headband, is just going to be in the spine of this. And that one I don't have quite mitered enough, I don't think. And this one right here, so let me go back and do that one again. There. Okay, I think that will work. Now we make sure, here's the front. Make sure we get that in the front, because this is on the back. So this is going to go in here just like this. So what I'm going to do to get this in, so let me unwrap my glue here. I poured this in here earlier than I needed it, so I had to put some plastic wrap over it. Okay, and I've got to stand up to do this. So this I want in here, and I made it, this fabric piece is just about the right length of the cover spine. So I lay this in here like I want it to know. This has got to be a hidden hollow back, which means I am not putting any glue right here or here. This is going to be open, and that's the hollow back part. And I want this to, the little fringes on this quote-unquote headband should come just about to the top. And then this should be centered right in here. So you just gotta look and see what you've got. Now I can see where my spine comes to, so that's going to be about right there. I can move it over this way a little bit, like that, and we'll make sure it's in there. And this, I'm just eyeing this. It really isn't rocket science. It turns out, I've done these so many times, it turns out just fine. Okay, I think I've got that pretty much like it goes. Smooth that over just a little bit more. So I just hold it here, lift this up, take my glue, which this is pretty thick, and I just put it along here, just underneath there, just to get this so that it will stick down. Okay. Let's put this over here to hold this. And you can use this to make this be where it goes. Make sure that is going to be where it goes. Whoops. Yes, there we go. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's how it goes. All right, and then we're just going to smooth this down. Just like that. Okay, that is perfect. Okay, now when I get ready for it, let's let this dry a little bit. When I get ready for it, my end paper, and I haven't decided whether to put it this way, the end paper. Oh, I got both sheets here. Whether to put it this way or this way. I have not decided that yet. I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so anyway, there is that side. And I think we have it in there just fine. I hope so. I've never had one be a problem before, so I don't think I could have put this a little bit out a little bit. But so you can tell when I run this across the ridge here that this is pretty straight across there, which is what you want. Okay, then I'm going to turn this around just like this. And I'm going to do the same thing. We do have it in there, right? Okay, same thing on this side. I gotta get my cord out of the way. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now, I don't really want to do it in the spine part. Now, you can do it a little bit on the ridge or the I don't know if they call it a valley or a ridge. I can't remember now what the name of that's called, the little indent. It's not going to have much of one because the book is so fat. But I just put a generous amount right along here. Just like that. And put it in just like that. That's right. This does not take too long to dry, so we should be able to see what we think in just a moment. Yeah, that's good. Let me cover my glue back up. I got to put it back in the bottle. I don't want it to dry out too much, so let me cover it back up with this plastic wrap. This plastic wrap is the best stuff. You can't get it anymore. This came from my mother's when she passed away and I cleaned her house out. She had several rolls of this plastic wrap, and it doesn't stick together, but it sticks very well across the top of your glass items. And they don't make it anymore. Of course, they don't make it anymore. That's what happens. Okay, so that is how that, let's raise you up just a little bit. That's how that looks. And see that little, it's like my little frayed headband. And then, if you're opening the book, you can see that it is hollow. And so that is your hidden hollow back, because it hides the stitches and it is a hollow back spine. So let's see how this works as my closure. So this is a little bit alligator mouth, because like I said, I couldn't quit putting stuff in it. And then I swapped out some stuff for some thinner, flatter stuff, but it still has some bulk. But I love it. I will do a flip through of this when I'm completely done with it, which we may be. Well, I might even put the end papers on now, depending on how long. How long has this been? 41 minutes. Okay. I may or may not. I may do another video for the end papers. But that's how that goes, and that's how that will do. And I've got these charms on here, and they just work out fine. So, yes, that's good. That's in there good. So that needs to dry very well before I go too much further. But I'm going to leave that on there right now. And then this will go here. And that little tab will have to go over this a little bit. Like that. And that's going to go on there just like that. And while I have the PVA out, I should go ahead and put it on with that. So I think we'll do that. Yes, I think we'll do that. Might as well. Gotta unwrap it again. And then all that will be left to do is to do the end papers. So while I have this glue out, I may just go ahead and do that as well. And then it's basically done, because I'm through decorating. That's the other thing I did off camera, was finish the decorating. And on this little piece, I put the book corner thingies on here. So let's just get this glued down. Why not? I think we'll be able to do that without too much trouble. This is the thickest glue. Thick, 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 thick. It's raining here today. And this is a Friday, and this may come out. I don't know if I'll get it loaded or not today, but maybe. But we were gone this weekend, so we didn't get our grass cut. We left Friday. I'll get it right in a minute. We left on Friday, and we did not have a chance to get our grass cut before we left. We cut our grass at least once a week. Well, usually just once a week. And we didn't get it cut. We got home Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yes. And we didn't have an opportunity to cut it. We didn't get home till Tuesday late afternoon. And so we didn't have a chance to cut it Wednesday or Thursday, because Thursday we didn't have any water. And so after we cut grass, if we cut grass on Thursday, we would not have been able to take a shower because we had no water. And so we took our showers early in the morning before the water went off, which we knew it was going off. And we had somewhere to go Thursday night. So our normal Thursday night routine is to go to our Carolina Shag Club and dance. And so we had that Thursday night, which was last night. And so we didn't cut grass yesterday. So we had to get up and get grass cut this morning before it started raining, because it's going to rain all weekend. And the grass needed to be cut really bad. So we got it done though. My husband and I both cut grass, and so I cut the backyard. We have 2 acres in a pecan orchard, and I cut the backyard and he cuts the front yard. And we got it done. So this is going to go on here just like this. I love it. Okay. I like that. It's going to be a little bit hard to get this in the middle. I need something that will press down in the middle like foam. And I just had a foam piece that I threw away because I thought, what am I going to need that for? But I could also fold this up. And that's going to need to dry for just a minute, not long. So I can put this in here like that. Let me do it. Let's do it this way. And maybe that'll be thick enough to... Well, I put a bit. I have another one right here. Let me put that in there too. That way it will be some pressure. One more. Some pressure on that middle part, and I'm going to lay a book across the top of it for a few minutes. Heavy book. I have this New World Dictionary that is very heavy, and that's what I put on top of things like this. So we're going to put that on top of that, and I'm going to push this aside just like that. I am going to cover my glue back up for the moment, and I'm going to ink around my pages, and I don't really know what size. I didn't measure. So let's put this back away. Anyway, so we got the grass cut. We got it all cut before the rain came, but the rain is here now. And it's about 3 o'clock my time, which is in Georgia, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, this won't take long. As you saw, it doesn't take long to adhere, to be dry enough to, yeah, that looks great. That looks good. So, you know, this is steampunk, so it doesn't have to be perfect because it's been used and banged around and shifted around and all that. I'll put that back on there when I get this measured as to where I want it to be. Oh, and I'm going to put some tape over this, some masking tape over that. So hold on, let me grab that. Or some kind of tape. Masking, I guess, would be the best. Probably need to put a little glue on that too. Yeah, I'm going to do masking tape right here. Just a little piece of masking tape over this. Yeah, that's good and sticky. I don't need to add anything else to it. Just like that. And keep those from poking through. Perfect. Put that back away. This is what I do. I pull out and put away, and pull out and pull away, and pull out and pull away, put away. Okay, now this is going to be my end paper, and I think I'm going to do it like this. I don't know, maybe I want it like this. I want it like this. Okay, so I'm going to get that up there. And we're going to see where that needs to be along here. Right like that. And where it needs to be along here. Let's pull that down just a little bit. So if we do it, it's going to go in just a little bit. So I can actually use one piece of paper. The front and back would be a little bit different, and that's okay. I don't mind that at all. Okay, it's going to be basically like this. But I need to make sure that it is just like I need it to be. And I think that's going to work. So let's put this back under the book for now. While I do this, if I mess this part up, I can always print that out again or use scrapbooking paper, which I oftentimes use anyway. I just saw this and I thought I would like it. I'm going to do it this way because I can see the lines better. Right. Like that. Okay. And then we'll do it right like this. This is going to be, when I get done with this, this is, I'm calling this probably done. Make that a little bit better crease. And let me pinch across that just a little bit so I can see it. There we go. That's good. Now I can see it. Okay. Let's lay this aside. I'm going to do this right up to the signatures, right up to the book block. And I didn't cut that off quite enough, did I? I did not. Maybe I will turn that this way. Yes, I like that. So I want to do this right up to the edge. And I did not cut it exactly right. So let's do just a little bit more of trimming. I'll mark it with my pencil. About like that. And that's where it needs to be. And then this, I just need to trim down the barest little bit right here. So I'm going to flip this over this way and then put my weights on it instead of trying to lift that book up back and forth. And let's trim this a little more. Do this bit first. Put it down here so I can see my line up here. Right there. This one. I hope I did that right. I hope. I didn't take too much off. And the book block is in there as well as it needs to be, but it is a fraction of an inch crooked. And that will make your end, if you're going right up to the signature, you have to make an adjustment for that. But that is perfect. Yep, that's going to be good. I'm going to ink around this. I'm going to measure, make sure how that would look on this side if I use that same measurement. And see, it's not going to be exactly the same on this side, which is, you have to do each one separate. And that's just what you have to do. I need to take that out too. Let me take this out while I'm thinking about it. Okay, come on. I didn't think I screwed it down that tight. There we go. Okay, let me put these two pieces back together so I don't lose them. Okay, so this is going in the back and it's going in this direction. I'm going to ink around it and I'm going to go ahead and put this one in, and then I'll just have to measure the other one. And I probably will not do it on camera because you see the process of how to measure and what to do with it. Or how I measure. Someone else is going to do it differently than I do. But this works for me. So I'm using frayed burlap to ink around these edges. I'm going to put this all the way up to the signature, but if I decide I don't like how it's doing, because it will have to bend, and this is just regular copy paper, so I think it'll do fine. But if it doesn't, then I have some tape, some Tim Holtz linen tape or fabric tape or whatever you want to call it. Got a little bit of a wrinkle in that right there that I don't really want to be there. Okay, so we're going to glue this in, and I'll just use my PVA again. Well, maybe I won't because it is thick, really, really thick. I tell you what I really like to do is I really like to use double-sided tape. And that is what I think I'm going to do. So I'll show you how I do that. I have some wide double-sided tape. I have those widths. And I have this. This is Mrs. Elizabeth, and this is that Sukwang tape. And this is what I like to use when I do the double-sided tape. I like to do that because I feel like the edges really, I know they're going to be down good, because when I put this tape on here, I'm going to put that in there this way. I make sure it's on the edge. So if I do the 3-inch, I can do one at this end and one at this end. And then a narrower piece in the middle. And I do it right up to the edge. I used to make mini albums, and I used this tape all the time for that. And I need to have my magazine here because I don't want to stick this tape to my desk, to my background here. Okay. And then I do it here. I didn't get quite up to the edge there, so I'll put a little glue. I couldn't see. My camera's in the way. And so I'll put a little glue along that edge there. And then we have that there. And then I will use, so I have all kinds. When I made mini albums, I kept all the sizes because you needed all the sizes, pretty much. So we'll stick this one here, which is a little wider than this space, which I hope will work out okay. We'll see. You might be able to see the line a little bit. So that's going that way. I need to put this in water. Hold on. In case it decides it wants to have a jar of water in here. And I'll just stick that in there, because I think I'm through with that. If I'm going to do this way, then I am through with that. Now, I might be leaving a little bit of that fabric showing, but the color is all fine as far as how that looks. So that, because sometimes I put it out to here. Now, I don't want to do that on this one. I think I like it like this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my knife and peel this back a little at a time, just like that. And I'm going to start it from the outside edge, because I want the outside edge to be like I want it, and the inside toward the signature can be a little bit skewed or a little bit different. It won't matter. Now, I am going to put a little bit of glue along this edge, because I missed it right there just a tiny bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along here, make sure that's going to be staying down like it should. I've never had any problems with it. This is how I also did mini albums when I made mini albums several years ago. I've been doing journals since 2014 now. My very first ones is 2014. Am I in frame? Yes, I am. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this just like I want it to be. Margins like I want it to be. And we'll lay it down. And I think that'll work out fine. You'll see a little bit of that edge, but that's okay. And then I just lift this up. And press it. And then I'll lift this other little piece up. Am I in frame? Yeah, sort of. And press that down. And I didn't get it right on the edge here either, so I'll put a little glue on this after I get this off here. And I'll take this and put this along the edge here. Just like that. And then I will press it down. Just like that. What did I do with my napkin here? Just like that. Let's see how that does. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I don't think I'm going to put a pocket back here or in the front, because this is so thick as it is. But this will be in my Etsy shop, and if you are interested in getting it, if you took all of the things out of it that I have put in it and put your own things in, or just add back in the things that you really, really liked, you'll have plenty of room to do anything and everything. I like to put a lot in there, because in case someone really is not looking to journal, they can just have a lookbook. There is nothing wrong with having a lookbook, which is just a book you look at. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, so that is how that's going to be. And there we are. And that is that inside cover. Okay, I will do the other one off camera, because this is basically what this is going to look like. So I will do the other one in here, and then I will put the hitch post right here back in after I've put the paper on the inside. So it'll have, this won't be the sheet because I don't think this is going to be big enough. Well, it could work. You could leave that, but I probably won't. But then the hitch post will be back in here. So you'll see this screw head right here, which I think will look nice. Okay, I could use this, but it doesn't quite. See, I sometimes I put it in where it is like this, and that shows. I didn't want to do that this time, and I still think I want to use this side, or cut it and use this side, be like this, so it'll be more like the other end. So I'll do that off camera. I will, when I'm done and get that done, I will also do a flip through of this journal so you can see all the goodies that are inside. And I appreciate you coming along. I hope that you have gotten some tips on how you can bind a book, how you can finish it off, and that I have helped you in some way. Like I said, let me show you. Let me see if I can find that tape real quick. I'll show you in case I might decide I want to put that on there just because. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yep, here's the one. It kind of matches. And I thought if I wanted to, I might do this along this inside to cover it up all the way, because I didn't get all the way to the, and this kind of matched. So I would just put it right up here. I might do that. I kind of like that. Yes, I kind of like that. Let me know what you think. I think I kind of like that. That will go on, and that just gives it a little more character too. But that also helps the spine and the oops, don't stick. Okay, and so that kind of will help reinforce. I don't think it needs any more reinforcing. It has fabric. It has 2 layers of heavy packing craft paper. So I don't think it needs any more reinforcement, and I may not do that, but I don't mind it at all. Sometimes I do them like that, leaving a little bit like that on purpose. So I think that will be good. Alrighty. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like button. And if you'd like to see further videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll get further videos. I do have a playlist of putting this whole journal together, and this was part 5. So you'll have a start to finish, and it's under a process video, a process playlist, and it is build a book. Let's build a book. So I appreciate you coming along. I hope you enjoyed this little series, and if you have any questions, please ask. I'll be happy to answer, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.